GTA 6 has aura. Now, let me go over what I mean by that, because that's quite the statement. Okay, so essentially, GTA 6 is gonna be a big boy, right? It is the most anticipated game of all time, and is shaping up to be the biggest game ever made. And basically, right, because it has so much hype around it, because it has so much aura, a lot of other game developers don't want to release around the same time as GTA 6. Because by doing this, they'll essentially be setting their games up to fail, because no game can compete. It doesn't really matter how good your game is, it's not going to be able to compete with GTA 6. So what we are seeing now is the consequences to this, and it's already been shown by two massive games, which is Battlefield and now Fable. Okay, so starting with Battlefield, a couple weeks ago, the CEO of EA came out and essentially said they would be willing to delay the next Battlefield game if something happens in the year that basically meant it wasn't going to be a great window of release for them. I wonder what that could be. Now, they didn't outright say GTA 6 by name, but we know this is what they're referring to. If something happens in the year, that means it's not going to be a great window of release for them. Like, that is GTA 6. It sounds like they were waiting to see if GTA 6 would get pushed back to 2026, because that's why they were saying if something happens. But as it now looks like GTA 6 will in fact release this year, then yeah, they're probably going to push it back to 2026. But look, even though they didn't say GTA 6, it makes sense from their perspective, right? Battlefield is a big game. It has a lot of players, a really healthy community. Well, I don't know about that actually. It's got a lot of players, it's got a very passionate community, but GTA 6 is going to be the biggest game of all time. From a business point of view, it just doesn't make sense to release around the same time, which we could assume for Battlefield would be around the festive period, because that's when a lot of big games like to release, just before the holidays. And we know that's when GTA 6 is shaping up to release. So even if they made a really solid Battlefield game, it wouldn't matter, because they'd be setting the game up to fail and not being able to maximize the amount of sales the game would make. So then really EA have the choice of either releasing Battlefield earlier before GTA 6 comes out, or releasing it afterwards, with afterwards obviously being the more preferable option, because if they release it earlier, then they have to quickly rush out a game, which just, you know, not too good. So that's EA and Battlefield. But as of yesterday, it came out that the same might be true for Fable. Now, Fable is a big game a lot of people have been waiting for a long time, and was scheduled to release by Xbox Game Studios in 2025. However, yesterday, Xbox Game Studios lead Craig Duncan came out and basically said they're going to push back the game to 2026 to give it more time. But despite delaying it to give them more time, he also said they're happy with the progress they've been making. Now, unlike Battlefield, they didn't say anything in the year was a factor behind its release. Instead, they said, you know, they just want to give them more development time so it can be perfect for launch, which is a very valid reason, right? Very sensible. You know, if the game needs more time, it needs more time. Again, don't want another Cyberpunk. However, I'm also willing to bet a big factor behind this is just to avoid clashing with GTA 6. Now, maybe it's not, maybe I am wrong and the game just does need more time, which again is a very valid reason behind delay, but I would put money it is also just to avoid clashing with GTA 6. So that is two examples that have come out so far, but I'm willing to bet more is going to happen as the year progresses, and that's because each day we go by without a delay announcement, it looks more likely that the game will release in 2025, just because if it was going to get pushed back into 2026, I reckon they would have announced a delay by now, and it looks like the last chance for them to announce a delay would be the May earnings call. But as of the last earnings call a couple weeks ago, they basically said, yeah, the game's still on track to release in fall 2025. So as it looks more and more likely it is releasing this year, you're probably going to see more and more game studios push their projects back into 2026. Now, I don't know if it's still the case, but there was rumors that Call of Duty this year would be a Black Ops 2 remaster, I believe it was. It was either Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 2, I can't remember. And again, I don't know if this still is the case, because I don't really, you know, keep up with Call of Duty much anymore, but it would make sense, because why spend loads and loads of times making a full-fledged Call of Duty game just for GTA 6 to come out? Again, just with the same reasons as Battlefield, it doesn't make sense to release around the same time, because it's just setting it up for failure. But obviously, Call of Duty is a franchise that does yearly releases, and, you know, they need their money, so I think a remaster is probably the best option for them, because it's going to be less effort than making a full-fledged game. That's not to say no effort's going into making a remaster, because of course they do take effort, but not as much as making a whole brand new game. Quick editor's note here, I just want to stress the fact that the Black Ops 2 segment is purely speculation. There's nothing really to back it up, but there's a lot of rumors going around that this year's Call of Duty could be a sequel to Black Ops 2, but regardless of what it is, I wouldn't expect it to be as big as what you'd usually expect from Call of Duty, just because GTA 6 is coming out this year, and they know that's going to take up a lot of their players. But yeah, back to it. But again, yeah, that is just my thoughts. I don't know if it has been confirmed they're releasing a remaster this year. I don't know if the plans changed, but last I heard, that's just, you know, what I heard. But essentially, yeah, to wrap things up, GTA 6 is going to be a big game, and it doesn't matter how big, how good your game is. It could be a really solid game. If you release at the same time as GTA 6, you're setting it up for failure. Because truth be told, GTA 6 is too big to fail, and all these other game developers know this. So as the year progresses, and especially when we get a release date, a trailer 2, and it's confirmed to come out in 2025, don't be surprised if you see more game developers pushing their games back, because the festive period of 2025 is going to be dominated by GTA 6. But yeah, that's all I just wanted to cover in today's video. If you did make it this far in the video and you did go on to enjoy it, please drop a like, because it massively helps the channel. As well as that, we're trying to hit 10k subs by the end of the year, so if you could subscribe, again, it'd be massively appreciated. Before we end the video though, comment down below if you still think GTA 6 is going to release in 2025, or do you reckon it's going to get delayed into 2026? But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.